Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I want to do a quick video on how to round numbers and hopefully to help you with the correlation coefficient if you need to round it or the coefficients for the linear regression. All right, so let me jump into this because I want to try to keep this as short as possible. All right, the very first thing you got to know is you got to know your place values. So I've got an arrow here that's pointing to the decimal because the decimal basically tells you where the whole numbers are, and it also tells you where the decimal part is. So I'm not going to do this whole thing, but I'm going to focus on the ones that you need to know. To the left of the decimal is the whole number part. So this is the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands. Now to the right of the decimal place is the tenths with TH, hundreds, TH, thousands, TH, and that should do it. Basically, they never ask you to round to the 10,000s. I've never seen that. So I'm just going to show you that part. So again, this part over here is the whole number part. And this over here is the decimal part. All right, so now let's just jump in and start looking at some of this. So the first thing you got to understand is you got to know, what are you rounding to? So this number here is 2,635. Now we could round it to the thousands, we could round it to the hundreds, we can round it to the tens. So you first have to know what it is that you're rounding to. And once you, in this case, we're rounding to the hundreds, so you would go to the digit in the hundreds place. So the hundreds, so this is the ones, this is the tens, this is the hundreds, this is the thousands. Okay, so we're going to round it to the hundreds. So once we got that, the first number that we need is our lower benchmark number. So all we're going to do is we're just going to go 2,600. So we're going to make this 35. We're just going to replace them with zeros. And then from there, we're going to go 100 above 2,600 because we're rounding to the hundreds. We're going to go up to 2,700. Now, the key number is, what is the midpoint? What is the middle of these two numbers? Okay, so like if we were looking at a football field and the football field is 100 yards, if I said, where's the midpoint or where's the midfield? You would say, oh, since there's 100, it would be 50. So 50 is the middle of the football field. Okay, now, so if we go back here and I said, what's the middle between 2,600 and 2,700? You should say, oh, that's 2,650. Now, if that doesn't make sense, you could always just find the average of the two numbers. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can go Control, Divide, and then you're just going to put the two numbers, 2,600 plus 2,700 divided by 2. Since there's two numbers, we want to find the middle. It's 2,650, which is what we already had. All right, so let's go back. So since this is the middle, now all we want to do is we want to know, where does this number go? Does it go to the left, or does it go to the right of 2,650? Well, obviously, 2,635 is less than 2,650, so you're going to put it over here someplace, which means that we're going to round it to 2,600, because basically what we're doing when we're rounding is we're just trying to say which of the benchmark numbers is it closer to. Well, it's obviously closer to 2,600. So if we were rounding to the hundreds, it would be 2,600. Okay, let's do another one. This one, we're rounding to the thousands. So which digit is in the thousands place? Well, the 2 is. So we would say, okay, that's the number. That's going to be our benchmark number. So it's going to be 2000. We'll replace all of these numbers with 0. So it's just 2,000. And then we're going to add 1 to the 2 to get 3,000. So those are our lower benchmark number and our higher benchmark number. All right, so now we need to find the middle. Again, 2 plus 3 is 5. Half of 5 is 2,500. So it's going to be 2,500. That's our midpoint. That's the middle. And now, where does this number go? Does it go to the left or does it go to the right? Obviously, it's going to go to the right because 26 is bigger than 25. So we would put it over here, which means that if we're rounding this, we want to find which of the benchmark numbers are we closer to. So we're closer to 3,000. And that would be our rounding to the thousands place, to the thousands. All right, let's do another one. All right, this one we're rounding to the 10. So you find a number in the tens place, and that would be this. So then we're just going to write our lower benchmark. It's going to be 2630. Our higher benchmark is going to be 2640. We add 1 to the 3, we got 4. And now we need the midpoint. The midpoint is going to be 2635. If you want to, you can use the calculator. Let's do that. So we're going to do control divide. We got 2630 plus 2640, and then we divide it by 2, and we get 26. Actually, oops. Let me try that again. Control divide. We got 2630 plus 2640 divided by 2. Go down. And then you press it, and it's 2635, which is what we have. Sorry about that, guys. Yep. So 2635 is our midpoint. So this number in this case is right in the middle. It's right on the midpoint. Now, if it's right on the midpoint, the rule is you round it to the higher number. So it would be 2640. Now, that's it. That's how you're doing this. I'm going to do a couple more examples. All right, so this one, we're rounding 1.839 to the nearest whole number. So the whole number would be the ones place. So we're going to have 1.000, and then over here is going to be the higher benchmark, 1.2000. And then where does 1.8? So what's the middle? 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 divided by 2 is going to be 1.5. So this is going to be 1.500. Now, where does the 1.8 go? Does it go to the left or does it go to the right? Well, 1.8 is definitely higher than 1.5. So we're going to round it to the 2000, to the closer benchmark. And that's what we got. All right, let's do another one. We're rounding this one to the tenths. This digit is in the tenths place. So we're going to have 1.800. We're going to have 1.900. The middle is 1.85. And then where does this number go? Well, it's less. It's over here, 1.839. 39 is less than 50. So we're going to round it to the near benchmark. So it's going to be 1.800. Now you could just write 1.8, that would work as well, but 1.800 is also acceptable. Last one, we're going to round this one to the nearest hundredths. So the 3 is in the hundredths place, so our benchmark is going to be 1.830, and then our other benchmark is only 840. And then we want the middle, 1.835, and then where does this number go? Well, it goes to the right, so our benchmark, our closer benchmark is 1.840. That's it. So real quick, you got to know your place value. Once you know your place value, you're going to do the lower benchmark, higher benchmark, find the midpoint, and then compare your number to the midpoint. You just need to find out which one of the benchmark numbers is it closer to. That's what your rounding is going to be. All right, guys, I'm going to stop this and load it up.